Okay, well, now I'd like to read you some parts of this chapter that I have highlighted. I highlight anything that makes sense to me, because a lot of the book doesn't make sense to me. Sometimes I really struggle to follow what the author is trying to say. But there are these moments where it really does make sense, and these few sentences that really speak to me. Sometimes paragraphs. But I'm going to read them to you now and maybe share a few thoughts. She's unaware of the intentions of others and potential harm, and that is always when the sealskin is stolen. Because of naivete, poor insight into the motives of others, inexperience in projecting what might happen in the future, not paying attention to all the clues in the environment, and because fate is always weaving lessons into the weft. Now, this makes a lot of sense to me because, of course, as a young woman, I don't feel like I know anything about anything. I don't feel wise, and I don't feel like I know how the world works. But I feel like this is the author's way of saying mistakes are allowed to be made, and it's all in God's plan. Now, I'm not religious, but it just reminds me of that saying that, even if everything doesn't turn out exactly how you want it to, it'll be okay. It'll be all right. Now, of course, that's not an excuse to stay naive and to not learn about your environment and to learn from your mistakes. Of course, it's not an excuse for that. And the idea is to learn from your mistakes and improve as a person. But mistakes are also part of it. Psychologically, to be without the pelt causes a woman to pursue what she thinks she should do rather than what she truly wishes. It causes her to follow whoever and whatever impresses her as the strongest. This makes me think of a lot of relationships in my life where I become obsessed with the person in my life. Not necessarily romantic relationships, just people that I get to know, and they fill all my senses. They're all I can think about. And I lean on these people too much. I center my world around them, and it can make you blind. It can make you forget what's really important to you as a person. And this isn't something that I figured out how to deal with yet. I think the answer is being creative and making art. At least that's what she always says. That if you can express yourself somehow through the things in the way that you know how to express yourself, you can find yourself and maybe detach yourself from what's not so important in life.